Hi, this is Rachel Reid, and welcome to another episode of Amplified, where we make God larger, greater, louder, and more powerful in our lives. I'm so glad to have you again today. We're going to continue to sharing about the power of words of God in our mouths. And I tell you, that's what Amplified is about. Thank you for joining me. And, you know, thank you for coming on the journey with us. And today we're going to be talking about something that I think it'll resonate with a lot of us. Today's topic is who's rocking the boat. And I know we've talked about it many times, and that's not the name of it, but that's just kind of something that we want to talk about. How many times do you find yourself in the middle of a situation that seems a little bigger than you can handle? Well, a lot bigger than you can get out of, right? A lot of us get into those situations. And that's why it's important that we know what to do, what to say, how to get out of things with what the Word of God tells us to say. We can say it too, because death and life are in the power of the tongue, as you and I know. That's the Word of God. The death and life is in the power of the tongue, and it's important for us to get out of that by watching what we say and how we say it. And so we want to encourage you today to talk about that. Many times I tell you, we go through things and we don't know why and how. And I tell you, God gets us out of things, and God shows us and helps us. And it's important that you and I understand that God is faithful. No matter what it looks like, no matter what we're going through, God is faithful. Before we move any forward here, if you have not already liked, shared, and subscribed, I want to encourage you to have somebody join you and be a part of this. I have a lot of people that I know throughout ministry, throughout different churches that I've ministered, led worship in, and ministered at a lot of your conferences and a lot of places. And God has allowed me to be blessed by you, to be blessed by sharing conversations with you. And I encourage you to share this program. I want to encourage you, Rachel, why are you taking extra time? Because I know that there are many out there that would benefit from our conversations as we share and amplified, because these are conversations and these are topics that God has shared with me to share with you. And those of you that have asked me to talk about these things, there's times that you don't know how to discuss these things with your loved ones, and you don't know how to share these things with your friends or family. And I tell you, you could just forward this and say, hey, if something that that your loved one needs to hear or know, you could share that. And also, by the way, you could help to grow this ministry, to grow this program with everyone else. Like I said, I know I've been ministering for many years, and I love encouraging people. I love speaking words of life to you and others. So please take the time right now, right there where you are, as you're listening. Of course, if you're driving, don't. If you're driving, wait till you pull over, and then you can do it. But please think about several people that think about how many friends and family that that could definitely want to listen to this and be blessed by something like this. I know you are, because you've been joining in with me for this journey, and I thank you for that. So please share, and subscribe this with someone else. Share it with others. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. You can listen to me on many of the channels. Go to rachelreid.net if you haven't had a chance to go to rachelreid.net. You can find those links on my here in the post. So thank you for joining me. We're going to continue to move on. Who's rocking the boat? And the reason that I wanted to share this, because this is one of my favorite I guess I want to say conversations about it, because we've all gone through things in life where we feel like we're rocking. We feel like we're in this boat and we don't know what's going on. We're in a storm and we don't know how to get out of it. We've all been there. We've all found ourselves in the middle of a situation where it seems really big, like I said, that we can't handle. We don't know what to do. Mark 4:35 tells us of a story that Jesus was calming the storm, but curiosity and curiously sometimes one of the stories here, Mark 4:35-41. When you get a chance, go ahead and look for it. Mark 4:35-41. Write it down. I want you to look it up. There's a story where Jesus was calming the sea, and there's times that you will find yourself. Think about your life right now. What are you going through? Do you find a challenging storm in your life right now? Do you find something going on that just the waves just seem bigger, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is growing bigger than it needs to, or I don't know what to do, or maybe it's a financial situation that's just getting out of control. You don't know how you're going to meet your bills, or your family. You're just having this discussion, and it turns into an argument, and it turns into a walkout, and it just gets so big that you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Or did it, or they did it, I don't know, but it just gotten so out of control that you don't know what to do anymore. Or maybe the doctor told you that you have a condition that's not getting better, or it's ever going to get better, and then all of a sudden you start to freak out, or you have a test that you have to take, and a mammogram, or some kind of a colonoscopy or something, and they found something, and you start to get imagining all these crazy things, and I don't know what to do. You're finding yourself in a boat that's going like this. That's not what I sounded like a minute ago. Because it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it just gets so huge. And it just starts to get you stressed. Gets you fearful. I tell you, everyone goes through these times in life where you don't know what to do sometimes. And your waves just getting bigger. And you're in this bigger and bigger and bigger. And this windstorm's coming and you don't know what else to do. Mark 4:37-39, let me read. And a great storm arose. And the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat started filling up with water. But he, Jesus, was in the stern asleep on a cushion. And they woke him up and they said, Jesus, teacher, do you not care that we're drowning? And he awoke and he rebuked the wind and the sea. And he said, peace, be still. And the wind ceased and there was a great calm. Read that yourself. Read it. They were in the middle of a storm. They were in the middle of this raging storm. Jesus was there. He was sleeping, actually. He was sleeping in the midst of a storm. I mean, seriously? Who sleeps in the midst of the storm? Well, Jesus did. He didn't know what to... These guys they're freaking out. They didn't know what to do. They had to wake him up. Can you imagine? They woke him, shook him up, woke him up. Get up, hey! I don't think they calmly, Jesus, can you wake up? No, I think they were freaking out. They finally shook him up. God, get up. We're afraid. We're drowning. Don't you care? We're drowning. Hello? Oh, Jesus was like, okay, just shh, peace, peace. Can you imagine Jesus just sitting up, talking to the wind, talking to the sea, saying, calm down, guys. Calm down. You're freaking out. These guys here, they got no faith. Can you imagine Jesus just saying, shh, quiet down, sea? And he turns over to the disciples. Hey, of course, my paraphrasing. What's up, dude? What's going on with y'all? I'm right here. You think I'm going to die with you? No, I'm not going to let you drown. Really? Can you imagine the question they just said right there? Teacher, do you not care that we're drowning? Hello? Can you imagine how foolish that is? Think about it. Step back and listen to that question. Don't you care that we're drowning? Jesus is in the boat with him. It's making me laugh because it's ridiculous. That is so funny. And that's kind of somehow we sound sometimes. We see the situations going on in our life and all of a sudden we start getting out of sorts. Jesus, can't you see this? Don't you care? Can't you see what's going on with my checkbook? Can't you see what's going on with my family? Can't you see what's going on with my health? Can't you see? If you don't do something, I'm going to die. Can't you see? If you do something, I'm going to lose it all. Come on, guys. Just as silly. I got this big frown and sappy face on my because it's so silly. Compose yourself, Rachel. I'm just seriously thinking about this boat going like this. And all the guys are in there. I like to fish, so I could kind of really picture this. I mean, it's funny. Because you're taking Jesus out of the equation. These guys took Jesus out of the equation. Are you taking Jesus out of your equation? Is he right there with you? Is he right there with you in the middle of your storm? That's your decision. You know if he's in your life or not. You know how much he's in your life. You know it. I don't know it. You would know it. Is he in the midst of your storm? Is he in the midst of when you went to the doctors? Was Jesus with you? When you were writing your checks for your payment for your rent, was Jesus there with you? I don't know. When the family situations are going on, is Jesus in the conversation, in the family conversation with you? You know the answers to this. I don't. You know it. If Jesus is with you, if you have invited Jesus in your heart, if you've invited Jesus to be a part of your world and everything you do, make decisions with Jesus, make the decisions based on the word of God. You're making the decisions based on what God would want you to do. If you're doing all that because God is with you, you're being led of God, and you're doing then he is with you. He is with you through these times of storms. He is with you through the midst of this drowning you think you are. Oh, I mean, I'm still laughing about that. I'm telling you, he is with you. You're saying, Rachel, it's not funny. No, that's not funny. But what's funny is that we're thinking that it's not going to work out when God is with us. Just like these guys right here. Don't you care we're going to drown? Jesus is right there with them. Seriously, he's going to let them drown when Jesus is in there. So pretty much Jesus would let himself die too. Really? Of course he let himself die, on the cross, but I'm talking about in the boat with them. No, that's not the way it was supposed to happen. It's not. It's so funny. First of all, the disciples had a choice to follow Jesus into the boat. You and I have a choice to follow Jesus. It sounds easy enough, but following Jesus is something we must choose to do every day. I'm seriously, especially if we find ourselves in the midst of the storm. You and I, we're supposed to be followers of Jesus. That's a discipler. That's a disciple. We followers of Christ. You and I, have you decided to follow Jesus? If you have not made that decision to follow Jesus, if you are listening to this broadcast right now, if you're listening to this right now and you're saying, Rachel, I do trust Jesus, but I don't know if following him. Well, you have to make a decision. Are you following him? That means is everything that you're doing including him? Is your decisions you're making including him? The decisions that you're making around the table with your family, is he included in the conversation? I'm just saying. Are things that you're saying and doing attributed to the fact that you're not including Jesus? Are they attributed to the fact that he's not in the conversation? Think about that. Sometimes things go on in our life because Jesus has not been a part of them. The decisions and the things that happen with our families is because Jesus was not included in it. We didn't include him in the decisions that we make and the choices that we make. It's important to remember that. You choose to, just like these disciples chose to get on the boat with Jesus. They all got in there. They knew he was there, so they went in there with him. Did they know him? They saw the miracles he's done before in the past. They saw every miracle. They did. They saw the miracles. The blind eyes opening, people walking, you know what I mean? He saw him feeding the 5,000. They saw all the miracles that Jesus performed. But meanwhile, they couldn't see themselves out of the storm. How's that? That's how much faith and unbelief. Where's your faith? Do you believe that Jesus is with you? Or are you going to, go into that unbelief mode where you're just like, God, I believe, but I don't know, man. It's getting bigger than, I don't know. It's getting bigger than anybody. Well, let me tell you something. Jesus is not just anybody. He is the real deal. He is the King. He is the truth. He is the way. He's the life. He's able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we ask or think. He could do all things because with him there is nothing impossible. So I'm speaking to you right now, those of you that are listening to me, and thank you for listening to me all this time that you have. But I would encourage you to encourage others to trust in God, to believe in God, to know that God is faithful. God is able to do things. He's able to move mountains. He's able to raise the dead, heal the sick. He can raise the dead, by the way. He still can do it. He has not stopped healing. He's not stopped delivering. He has not stopped performing miracles. He has continued to do that. He continues and will continue. But the thing is, do you believe? Do I believe? We must believe the word of God and speak the word of God. You and I have to use our voice right here because death and life is in the power of the tongue. You and I have to be equipped and able to speak words of life, able to speak words of truth, able to speak words of encouragement, to see ourselves out of the storms of life, out of the things that are difficult in life, out of the storms, out of the hard times in our lives. We should be able to get out of those not because we're perfect, not because we're anything in the bag of chips. We're not anything. We have Jesus on the boat. We have Jesus right there in the midst of the crisis, in the midst of your situation, in the midst of your financial deficit, in the midst of your health crisis, in the midst of your family situation. He is there to help see you out of it. He's there to get you through. See him there with you. Don't be like the disciples that said, don't you care that we drown? Don't you care that we're going to lose it all? No, come on. He's there. See him with you. See him calming the sea. See him fixing the situation in your life. See him handling whatever financial issue. See him fixing and restoring your family. See him providing the finances for you. Because he can. And it's where's your faith? Come on, somebody's rocking the boat, always. But is God with you? Is he there with you? Storms can come in all ways. And I know we talked about stress and distress. We're talking about stress and distress. We're going to talk about that. And we're always going to talk about things that happen. Troubles do come along. But it's important to believe that storms will come. But the Lord never promised that we would never see a storm. But he promised that he would be with you. Yes, he would be with you in the midst of the storm. So just trust God, believe in the Lord, and continue on knowing that God is faithful and he's with you. Continue to speak words of God because his word is unshakable, unmovable, sharper than any two-edged sword. His word will never pass away. We're going to continue on this topic because fear constantly tries to take away our faith. We cannot allow fear to take root. Fear has torment, and fear must go. There is no room for fear. We want to see you next time. Make sure you share this with somebody. Continue to speak words of life and let somebody know that needs to be amped up. Let them know to come join us next time. Come on. Thank you for watching Amplified, where we make God larger, greater, louder, more powerful in our lives. Until next time, see you then. Bye now.